Miss Coomer, welcoming you back to our online art class. I have something really cool to show you today. We're going to be making some surprise fish. I worked on one this morning and I wanted to share it with you. Okay, so it has a bit of a reveal. So here's my fish as it is right here. You can tell that the paper is folded up. I'm going to hold the bottom down and pull the top up. 1, 2, 3. And I have this crazy wacky fish inside. Okay, let me fold that back up. Okay, so guys, I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to create your own surprise fish. And it all starts with folding paper. I have a simple sheet of computer paper here in front of me. And right now it is the Tallway portrait. So I'm going to fold it in half, bringing the top down to meet the bottom, matching up my corners, and then creasing it. Okay, so it's like a half sheet of paper. It's open down here. Now this is the part that's tricky. Make sure you follow this direction. So again, my opening is down here. So I'm gonna lift up that top piece of paper and I'm gonna fold that back to meet the top of the paper. Do you guys see that? And then I'm going to crease it. If I don't follow that step correctly, when I open it, I'm not going to have my surprise fish. So make sure your paper folds out the same way that mine does. And go back and watch how I did it if you're a little confused. Okay, so I'm going to start with a pencil. You guys should be using a pencil as well. Hopefully you can see my lines this week. I think I'm going to use a Sharpie, but I'm going to use it later on. Okay, so one of the things you need to make sure of when you're drawing your fish is that your mouth hits this line. Okay, so let me start off with, I don't know, maybe my fish will be sort of a long fish, like a trout. Make the top of his body, and then I've got to fit a tail on there. Maybe it's got this cool scalloping. And I can bring that down, so the second lower half of his body. And then again, I've got to have that tail. Okay, so there's just the outline of my fish. Again, the mouth has got to be here, so you can draw a little line for yourself to keep track of that. But I also want to add other details. So a great big fish eye. Your fish can look any way you want to. You don't have to draw it the same way that I'm doing. In fact, I don't want you to draw it the same way I'm doing. Do your own thing. Maybe it's got a top fin. He's got a little bottom fin. If I do a fin, say towards the middle of the body, I want it to exist either above the paper crease or below the paper crease. I don't want it to be right on top of it. I don't want it to be in both sections at the same time. So I'll just put a little side fin here. Add some cool details. And you know what? Later on, I'm going to add some more of that. And once you have a pretty good idea of the way that the fish is going to look like when your paper is closed, you can go ahead and open it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is make some connections. So on top here, I'm going to bring my mouth in the same way that it is on the bottom. And then I'll bring that mouth down and connect the top and the bottom of the mouth. See that? I can add some ferocious teeth. I think I'm going to make my fish have these strange square teeth. He takes care of his teeth. And then I need to connect the tail too. So if I did scalloping here and scalloping here, it makes sense that that scalloping would also be here in between. And connect that as well. Okay, now the problem is we have all this empty space here. So add more detail. Maybe I'll do a fin over here. Oh, I can do some gills. Right, maybe there's like some cool patterns or designs. And then I can also add some things swimming into my fish's mouth. So I could do other small fish. Here's a really easy way of drawing a fish. Just like that. Our little oval with a little triangle attached. He could also be eating other things. I don't know, like baseball. What else would be? Ooh, a taco. Let me add some color to that later. Okay, so again, there's my fish with his mouth open. And then if I close it up, it's my fish with his mouth closed. Okay, ooh, did you guys see what happened there? I can sort of see that. I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with it, you could open it back up and just shorten that detail a bit. That's why we use pencil. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so now it's time to add some color. I'm going to be using a crayon today. You guys can use colored pencils or crayons or anything that works for you. I know I have just ordered some paint, so I can't wait to start painting again. If you've got paint, use it. Make these nice and colorful. You guys can see that I also, in my original one, used some marker to darken up my lines to make things stand out a bit. That's always helpful. If you have a crayon or a Sharpie marker or anything that is like a black writing utensil, go over your details. It only helps things stand out better. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go over all of my details with a marker. I'm going to switch here to a thicker Sharpie, just to make sure that once I do add color, all my detail doesn't sort of fade away. Now it's time to add color. So I want to encourage each of you, use at least 2 colors on your fish. Maybe you have a color for the main body and then another color for the fins. Make sure you're coloring your details, the objects that he's eating, and then fill in that background with a great ocean blue color. Okay, I'm going to use even more color than that. I think I'm going to do some cool layering effects, but you guys do what works for you. I cannot wait to see what you guys create. Make sure you're posting these things to Class Dojo, messaging them to me, or emailing me. I hope you guys all enjoy your spring break, and I'll see you back here in a couple of weeks. Thanks, guys. Bye.